What is good, Chicago? It is your boy Pat the Designer back at it again. We got a little bit of a different squad in the building on this month. Yeah. Okay, this is producer Joe Holt, as always, in the building, and friend of the show and owner and host of Chicago Sports Podcast. We've got to be the best name in the game. Brandon Hyatt joining us on today's game as well. What's going on with y'all boys, man? How y'all feeling, man?
I'm doing pretty good, man.
We got a lot to get into today, man.
It's a Friday, you know.
It's always good to have a Friday. I'm not gonna lie, we've partaken in a couple of drinks before the show, so you never know what you're gonna get.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Feel good Friday.
It's a feel-good Friday, brother, and that's what it all comes down to. Unfortunately, not for DJ Moore right now. He's not feeling too good. Listed on the injury report as questionable. Is that going to hurt the Bears in the long run? We're going to preview this Bears and Browns game and how do the Chicago Bears keep the winning ways going? What does this mean for Flus in the long run? Also going to get a little Bulls talk in there because there's a hilarious scenario that could play itself out.
Right.
Hilarious if this gets it done. And then finally, of course, the Friday free for all that and more on today's episode of the Windy City Breeze Sports Talk Daily. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave that 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Stop playing with us. It's the only channel to talk Chicago sports, how Chicago talks. So make sure that you get in tune with us, man.
Yes, indeed.
First things first, boys. We got to preview this Bears game versus the Browns. This is an interesting game coming up because I swear I thought that every time – I thought it was directly me. Every time I refreshed Twitter, somebody new from Cleveland was getting hurt. It's either me or Joakim Noah. Legitimately, basketball-wise, Darius Garland goes down today, broken jaw. Evan Mobley today goes down. He's got what was his? He's got like an arthroscopic surgery that they had to basically do. He's going to be out for multiple weeks. On top of that, the Browns lose another major cog on that offensive line with their fourth backup quarterback already, and Joe Flacco out there. Ethan Posich, he's got a stinger. He's going to be out Monday, and the Browns are already down 2 healthy offensive tackles. They literally are rolling out there with the backups to the backups to the backups. But on top of all of that, they're 6-1 at home. They've been very elite. Defensively, we know what Myles Garrett brings to the table. We know how he's going to be able to go out there and attack. And I think the number one thing for me with this Browns defense is, can you take advantage of the fact that when you look at the names that are missing on this team, Denzel Ward also being added to that injury report, can you go out there? Now, the laugh was too much, bro. Come on now. That's a little far.
I'm sorry.
That's a little far. Come on now. We're not doing the laugh. You're having too much fun on the board there.
Get a little trigger happy.
That was crazy. We're laughing at injuries out here.
I'm just saying.
That was a super producer only. His thoughts and actions.
The views expressed by the
super producer Joe Holt are not the views of the Breeze crew as a whole. Those are his thoughts and his thoughts alone. But no, I mean, we talked about this today on the Chicago Bears podcast. Was tuning with that. Had the super producer on there as well. He's dangerous out here now. He's making a name for himself. Jacob Phillips out, Jakeem Grant out, Michael Woods out, Jack Conklin out, Nick Chubb out, Jed Willis out, Deshaun Watson out, Rodney McLeod out, DeJuan Jones out, Maurice Hurst out. These are the season-ending injuries, not just the injuries that are limited and different things like that. We'll break those down as well. And, of course, you have to add Denzel Ward to that as well. The only thing about Denzel Ward is if the Browns do make the playoffs, he can come back. When you look at what I just laid out for you, Joel, what are your thoughts on how this Bears team should fare versus the Cleveland Browns coming into this game?
We spoke about this a little bit earlier. I mean, the idea is that regardless, the team that shows up is the team that shows up. You have to play aggressive regardless. Put your foot on the throat. On their neck.
Lord Crimson said, yes,
Jesus
is also Well done, Lord Crimson. Well done.
Exactly. Like, my goodness, that's a lot. What I'm hoping to see is that this defense makes Flacco look how they made Jared Goff look, and we should get multiple turnovers. So the idea is, can we basically capitalize on those turnovers and score? To me, the defense is going to be pretty good, but will Getsy dial up a game plan that works so that Fields can come in and do what he's supposed to do? So now it's more of a winnable game than we thought early on, because it's like you're going up against one of the top defensive teams in the NFL. So you have to win. There's no excuse. If you lose, this is not good for the Bears.
And that's what we talked about too. Check out the Chicago Bears podcast today. The one thing we talked about was, right, what does a win or a loss do for this team? I'll ask you this, Brandon, as you join the show, and appreciate you for coming on with us, right? Like, when you look at the offensive ability that the Bears have been able to show the last couple of weeks versus what I would say is a completely banged up defense for outside of Myles Garrett, right? Myles Garrett's there. We know what he brings. But what's your expectation offensively from the Chicago Bears coming into this game?
Offensively, I think we're going to be able to get after him. I think the increased potential on the offensive line, where they've just been able to give Fields that extra time to just cut loose and do what he does. I think that's going to help out. I think also with being able to spread the ball around and everything, I think it's going to be great. We don't have to go after one particular guy or stay from one particular side of the field. I think he's going to be able to have another well-balanced, diversified, offensive scheme coming at him.
That's interesting, too, that he mentioned that, right? Because DJ Moore being on the injury report for the Chicago Bears, he is listed as questionable right now. Jaquan Brisker also listed as questionable. Dylan Cole slated to come back. Noah Sewell's going to be out for this game. He was limited, did not practice today. Equinemius St. Brown is also out for this game. I think that impacts the screen passes we might see. But the reason I say that is because, right, in the second half of that game, everybody was sitting there talking about Justin Fields is so limited, he can't throw the football. If it doesn't go to DJ Moore, he's got no options. The second we started throwing the football to DJ Moore, guess what? The Detroit Lions start covering DJ Moore a lot more. They're covering him up. What does Justin Fields do? Third quarter of that game, he's got Darnell Mooney involved with a big pass. Cole Kmet, I believe, caught 2 passes in that. Tyler Scott caught a pass. Bayless Jones caught a pass. The thing that I want to see them continue to do, very much like you mentioned, right, spreading the football around. We're not talking about them just, it's DJ. I think when people hear us say you have to throw the football to DJ Moore like you do Justin Jefferson, they think we're saying just throw it to him. Nobody else gets the ball. It's only him. He's the only one that touches the football. No one. That's not what happens. No. What happens defensively is, right, the one play where DJ Moore scores a touchdown on the fake snap, said Hut, boom, the ball's out, no safety over the top. You can throw it to DJ Moore. What do you see the rest of the game? Put the safety over the top. There's no way we can ever let that happen again. We can't let them get us with a fake snap. That opens up things for the rest of your team.
Exactly. The issue is that if you keep playing timid and keep playing like a punk instead of going after the team.
Going after.
Yeah. Hey.
Who's the punk out here? Who are we talking about here? Let's call him out by name now.
I'm saying shots fired. Light him up. What I'm saying is, if to your point, if you make DJ Moore the focal point of your offense, to cheat the defense, to make them have to do some bracket coverage, have to cheat off on DJ Moore, guess what? It might open up something for maybe Darnell Mooney. But we have not seen Cole Kmet really take off yet with the Fields connection. I've seen Kmet take off a little bit with the Bajic connection. So I'm hoping to see more of Kmet. No, well, I know because I'm on my fantasy team, as I'm number 2, by the way, on my bye week. I'd like to see more.
It's been
Kmet.
up and down. It's been up and down. It hasn't been terrible. I don't think Cole Kmet has dropped the. No, I don't think Cole Kmet has dropped the pass this season.
No, he hasn't. But we want to see more of Cole Kmet because he is a weapon. Yes. So, but will we also have a balanced attack where, like I said, we haven't committed to the run neither, right? And I'm sorry, I didn't double check. Is Dante Foreman active?
Deontay Foreman should be active for this game. Now, he's been somebody who's been very in and out, right? Like, I love Deontay Foreman. I love to see what Deontay Foreman's able to do. Listen, here was my thing from the last game. You gave him 5 runs on the 3 runs on the first drive of the game. He had 6 runs in the first half as a whole. And then he didn't touch the football again until we're talking about maybe once in the third. And then the fourth quarter, he got it because we were up so much.
I like Baki's.
I hate the fact that we refuse to commit to the run. I think when you're playing a guy like Myles Garrett, how do you wear these guys out historically? Run the football right at them.
Scheme away, like just wheel routes, something that says like, just get creative. I like Baki's comment. Like, yes, I would love to see 350 passing yards, 3 touchdowns from Justin Fields. But to me, what we talked about earlier, he went from when he first got back in, he had 186. No, 217.
Yeah.
Then he went to like a little bit over 200.
Yeah.
And so we're seeing him improve. I would love to see that he makes another step against it's still a formal defense. You can't disrespect them that they were a top defense. So I would love to see.
Well, we got the numbers on them, right? We got the numbers.
Well, we have. Well, technically, I don't have them on the Browns, but in terms of us as our offense
versus defense. Here,
no, this
right?
is us. This is the Bears. This is our team. So our offense, we're the fourth best rushing offense with 20th in total points. So, but that's a strong number with fourth. Being fourth in terms of rushing offense. Second, we're the second best rushing defense.
And they haven't been able to run the football well at all.
Yes, so we're the 12th best defense in the NFL. So
in the what?
In the NFL.
What
Niffle? My dad used to do. He'd be like NBA, he'd be like Nuba NBA. He wasn't a sports guy. He'd be like, "You watching that Nuba NBA or NFL?"
Your
Niffle?
dad sounds like a suburban father if I've ever met one.
Yes, he is. shout out to my dad, Ron Holt.
Shout out Ron Holt. He's usually in the chat. Ron Holt usually popping up. Big shout out to him. No, what I will say is this, right? I think the one thing offensively you have to worry about the most with this Bears team, or I'm sorry, defensively that you have to worry about versus the Browns.
Oh, shout out to my homie Drew B. What's happening?
The how they used David Njoku last week. If you go back, you look at the All-22, the Browns' weapons, honestly, and this is the part that does scare me a little bit going into Cleveland, being at their home, different things like that. This is the part that scares me a little bit.
Trevor, what you want whomping? What are you talking about? Go ahead, I'm listening.
Is that it literally just feels like to me, they don't throw the football to some of these guys.
Yeah.
When I look at David Njoku, his targets are like 7, 2, 1, 106. Like, how do you go from nothing to something? That's the part that scares me offensively about this. Is Ron Holt a super producer?
Lord Crimson is hot right now, man. No, if you know my dad, if you ever met my father, he is. My dad will make a video of 5 of himself playing all instruments, and he produced the whole video, and he'll gladly show it to you. Yes, he is a super producer.
I think he meant that in a dirty way, Joe.
What's my dad? That's gross.
Yeah, well, I think that's what he was talking about. Does he produce super producers?
Well,
in theory,
he did, my brother.
In theory, he does. In theory, he does.
If you met my brother and I, hey, shout out to my Hollywood Holt, a.k.a. Holt. That's my brother. Yeah,
but no, honestly, right, like I think that, right, when you look at this offense, it just feels like, and I talked about this with Matt Loeb, covers the covers the Cleveland Browns for the Believe Network. They literally just don't throw to their weapons. Well, I have Amari Cooper on my team, again, very much like DJ Moore. I should throw him the ball 17 times. He shouldn't leave the game without 10 plus targets.
Oh, I hear you, Trev.
How many times do we see Amari Cooper not get that? But with Joe Flacco, there's a willingness to throw to him. With Joe Flacco, there's a willingness to go to David Njoku.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the part that does scare me a little bit. The tight end more so than the receiver. Jalen Johnson's done a great job being a number 1 DB for the Chicago Bears team. The tight end position is a tough one for the Bears to cover to me.
Well,
I watched Sam Laporta. I've watched, right, like we've seen tight ends cook this Bears team.
But I told you,
that's the part that may be a little bit nerve-wracking.
I've stated this a lot. I mean, the cover 2 will be bad quarterbacks, but the weaknesses are if you got a tight end and there's certain.
Jared Goff was a good quarterback.
Jared Goff, you give him a little more. You give him a little more. I
think the system is finally fitting.
Twice he played against us, and we made him look bad twice. That's not a good quarterback.
Sometimes you got their number.
No.
Sometimes you got their number. I ain't gonna lie to you.
They beat bad quarterbacks, and I don't necessarily think Joe Flacco's a great quarterback, which is why he's not in Baltimore. I mean, So the point is that technically we should win, but there are some holes or deficiencies with this cover 2 defense. We've seen this. There's certain pockets. So hopefully our team is minus now. We losing Yannick. It doesn't help.
Yeah.
Maybe DeMarcus Walker kind of helps offset a little bit of the deficiency on the defensive end. But outside of that, I mean, we should still hopefully be able to dominate this. I'm not necessarily scared of this Browns offense. We're more scared of the Browns defense. That's what we're really worried about.
Are we to a point now, though? And I ask you this, Brandon. Are we to a point now where there's so many injuries that our fear is more so of the Bears screwing up like we've seen them do multiple times over the Browns being a good defense? Because there's so many injuries at this point that it's like, all right, they're pretty much dead.
Yeah.
Well, I think the problem that I have with Eberflus is the game plan, but at times. But the one thing I don't have a problem with is he likes most things done by committee. So we've already seen what we have as far as depth on the team. And I'm pretty confident that we have a lot of depth on the team. And when you're saying that all these injuries are popping up for the Browns, well, our injuries are way less than theirs.
Yeah.
So next man up is not so much happening with us. They lost their right tackle. This guy had so many freaking, I think like at least a couple hundred snaps without. Yeah. And he was solid. So for that right tackle to be out, that's huge for them. So we can get pressure over there. And, you know, I think it's going to be really good. I'm not really concerned or worried about that.
So you're all in on this. You think we got this. You're feeling confident. You're big Bird Don right now. You feel like we got this game in the bag.
Well, here's the thing about the bag. This is what I think about this time of season, week 15, is that whoever is the least injured has the advantage. And I think right now we've got the advantage.
That's not a bad take, though. Yeah. And I agree with you on that, right? Because, right, you look at last night. Are the Raiders a good football team?
No.
63-21.
63-21.
What happened? Your quarterback's dead. You know what I mean? Like, let's be real, right? Like, congratulations. I like the fight that the Raiders are putting forth. I like how they're playing. I love the coaching. I would say, Coach Pierce has. I'm bringing him back, right?
Yeah,
you're bringing him back. What he's been able to do with the team that he has right now, you're bringing him back. The Chargers are a much more talented football team than the Raiders are.
Yeah.
And when you see them lose a game like that, you say, okay, what happened? Well, the most important position on the field was injured.
But see, again, man, even with the Raiders, like we're talking about coaching, right? They fired that coach.
Well, listen, Josh McDaniels, I've said
but they
this
have
many
talent.
times. We've had Matt Nagy. I'd take Matt Nagy 10 times out of 10 over Josh McDaniels.
No, I'm using Josh McDaniels as an offensive coordinator.
No.
As an offensive coordinator?
I'm talking about as a head coach.
Oh, yeah, as a head coach. Well,
I would take Matt Nagy 10 times out of 10 as a head coach over Josh McDaniels.
I'm with you regardless.
That's how bad Josh McDaniels is.
I got you, but my point is that either way, I need that.
We gotta put that on the board.
That's
what we need. That's what we need on the board.
But either way, coaching shows you like how all of a sudden Antonio Pierce comes in there and they're actually starting to get some wins. But it's like coaching makes a difference. 100%. They have talent. They got freaking Devontae Adams he's nobody to sneeze at. He's a legit Pro Bowl receiver.
Christmas early for Devontae.
Yeah. So
yeah.
No, I think that what we talked about earlier with the Bears Browns, if the coaching staff in general, we're talking about head coaching, offensive play calling, and even Fields. How are they going to respond to this team? Like they should win this game. And the thing is, it's laid out for you to win. You have 4 more games. You get past this one, you have 2 more winnable games, and then it's the slaying of the dragon of Green Bay. You got to win in Green Bay. Now, Actually, they've done it before, actually. The funny thing is they've won in Green Bay rarely, but they've done it.
Not with Justin, I don't think.
Not with Justin. No, not with Justin. But I'm just saying that. But the mentality. We're talking about an organization-wide. We're trying to create a culture of winning.
Yeah,
we're trying to get to the playoffs.
Listen, it makes a big difference when Aaron's up there or not.
I really want. No, I definitely want. Right? I really want to be Aaron Rodgers.
Heading to Green Bay versus Rodgers versus heading to Green Bay versus Jordan Love. I don't care how much high we are on Jordan Love.
It's still the psychology of it, man. You still got to
take it.
Yeah, I hear you, man. But I'm just saying that, right? We give us something.
No, see, he's old school, right? Joel is the old school. Well, you old
he's
school
old
a little bit
too.
But you're on a different part of it. You're on my side of this, right? Like Joel's the guy that's like, I guarantee you. What year was that? 2013. You played the Packers in the NFC title game?
2010, what?
Was that 11, 10 or 11?
2010, because they let the idiots in and we lost and they won the Super Bowl.
But I guarantee you were one of those muds that was like, you got to beat the Packers on the way in because that's how you show that you're bear down. It's like, I don't care how we get to the Super Bowl. Just get there. I don't care if we play St. Ignatius on the way to the Super Bowl.
Pat,
I could care less.
Let me help you understand. My whole, where I am and how I'm trying to even train my son, I'm not a fanatic. I'm trying to be a smart Bears fan. I'm not an idiot. Why would I want you to get in the playoffs and then the chance you could lose? No. They should have beat them and not let them in. I'm not like that. I try to be a little more methodical. Give me a little bit of credit.
I don't know, bro. Like you just say you didn't want Aaron Rodgers to leave.
I wanted to beat Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah,
here, not in the playoffs. But I wanted him not to go.
I wanted him to be.
I wanted to end his season. I wanted to take him out, and then we're going to go to New York, and then we're going to go to the NFC Championship. That's what I wanted.
Never won that election. I have no idea what his politics are. I don't know if he's Republican or Democrat.
Who was it? Dean?
Whoever that guy was.
Wasn't it Dean?
But at the end of the day, that was hilarious watching him just scream at the top of his lungs and immediately lose the election.
But you know what? B. Bill's post his chat. He's saying that team loves Eberflus. I think what's crazy is that Eberflus probably has done enough in their minds with that defense to earn being here next year. The issue is Getsy going to be here next year?
Yeah.
You know, will he call a game plan again? I think they're going to get turnovers. I think they're going to be able to do that. Will they be able to capitalize? Are we going to look scared again? Are we going to play 15, 16, 20 screen passes? Or are we actually going to play an offense?
Hey, shout out Lord Crimson. We've been talking about him. He in the chat. He said, I wanted to shut him up forever, but he ran away.
I rock with Lord Crimson. Listen, I did too.
Let me tell you this right now. Aaron Rodgers' record versus Chicago Bears is 26-5. You want to know what doesn't shut somebody up? 26-6. Listen, even if you sweep the Chicago Bears, even if the Chicago Bears sweep the Green Bay Packers in that situation, the number one thing that will never shut me up is 26-7. What do you think about that, kid?
What he said.
Keys still in hand. What's good, baby? I feel like I ain't seen shit. Hands are still cold. You had no heat in the car. You Dirk Nowitzki'd it all the way here.
I was outside for 10 minutes.
Why?
It's a whole different story. Don't worry about it.
It was good to see you,
Did
kid.
you text us? Hold on. Are we finna have a whole conversation?
You was on live. I knew you weren't finna do that. Come on. Let's roll with it. Let's roll with it. Yeah. They didn't show me no love downstairs. They showed me no love.
Wait, so you walked in and they were like,
"Oh,
what are you doing here?"
No one answered the door.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Hey, man,
no, they've been tripping down there.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's cool. Hey, baby, it's cool.
That's why some changes have to be made.
You know what? Absolutely.
We gotta make some changes. No, but honestly, right? Like with you joining the show now, welcome.
Jesus.
Petty Smith alive in the building, Miss P Kid, as always. What are your thoughts on this Bears-Browns game? Where are you standing? I mean, like, listen, I said this on the Chicago Bears podcast today with Joel. It was a CVS receipt of injuries when you look at the Browns now.
Yep.
Where are you at on this Bears team going into Cleveland, who is 6-1 at home on their fourth quarterback of the season, trying to get a win?
ADHD, squirrel. Anyway, looking at this, I'm gonna be honest with you. I see an easy win. I look at Joe Flacco. He's never been a real. He's never been a mobile QB. I mean,
he's not mobile at all.
He's not a mobile. He's a statue in the pocket. Now, listen, you all would think he's washed up. I think he's probably on this. I think he can. He's serviceable. I think he's serviceable.
I think he does this every year, though.
What, he has a good couple games?
He's done this with the Jets the last 2 years. Not great Jets. But right, don't we talk about this every season with Joe Flacco since the Super Bowl?
He's always been a mid quarterback. Everybody was mad he got that money back then.
Yeah, but he has the team around him now. Like I think Pat was just mentioning how they didn't use their weapons as much and stuff like that. Now you have there are names that he could throw to.
But to Justin Fields' point, who's snapping the football? Lost your starting center,
Lost
lost
your
your
starting
right
center.
tackle, lost your left
I
tackle.
think they have a halfback now that's going to take snaps. Right?
Hey, Pedro's
seriously.
like, hey, Pedro
They have a
Cabales,
halfback that's
respect
like the
Joe
second string.
Flacco. Wacko Flacco. I don't know about Wacko Flacco Flame. I mean, we'll see how it
Hey,
goes.
I'm always going to put
Flacco
respect.
Flacco Flame
Only in the
is an
postseason.
elite bar.
I'm always going to respect the Super Bowl QB. I'm always going to do that.
I'm
right?
not going to say Flacco can win you a game.
I'm
And
not
I
going
think
to.
you've seen that.
I think
I'm not going to say that Flacco can't go out there and hit David Njoku, hit Amari Cooper, and cook. I'm not
if we don't get pressure on him, he can cook us.
100%.
Of course.
Like
but
that's like,
But he also
we ain't
doesn't
talking
have-
about Zach Wilson here, or
Right,
somebody
but,
like
but
that. You
he
know?
also doesn't have a starting right tackle, a starting left tackle, and a starting center.
Oh, he might die.
38 years old.
He might die. It's okay. Listen, now mind you, I have
got
a
off the
Bears
couch.
hat on, baby. Listen, I'm going for the Bears all
I like
day.
that
Now I
hat.
hope he doesn't die for anyone.
I like that hat.
Oh, thank you,
I
sir.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little black and orange.
you know,
Black and orange are a little different.
Little something right there.
That's almost Orioles right there, right?
it does.
It
That's
is
a little
almost
Orioles
Orioles.
vibe right there. I like I love a good Orioles. I'm like,
Yeah, okay.
yeah, shout out B-More.
This is actually the Super Bowl hat.
Super Bowl what?
Yeah, the one we went to didn't win.
Wait, what?
The one we went to and didn't win.
That's not the Super Bowl hat.
That's what it said right there.
It's on the side
No,
of his
that's his
hat.
new era.
It's right
Oh
there.
no, it's on this side. Anyway, you know what I'm saying.
You
Dang,
wanted it
I'm
in the new era
wrong
logo.
side. Anyway, going back to the topic though, like honestly, two things though. One, I think it should be an easy win. I'm looking for Justin Fields to actually like continue the progression that he made. Joe, you mentioned that earlier. I love where he's trending. And for me, the last couple of games in this season were all about where is he, how is he developing, and is he going to quiet the noise on should we be drafting a QB? That's all I really cared about.
Yeah.
Because this season is mailed in. We're done with this particular season. We're not winning the Super Bowl. We may sneak into the playoffs, but realistically, with the draft capital, stuff
Hey.
like that, is that something you're really coaching towards? Probably
Hey,
not.
Let me
So-
tell you something.
And this draft is actually a lot more loaded than
Joel,
people give credit
Now
for.
look. I'm not there. I'm not saying I'm there. I'm not saying that I'm going there with our estimation of the last 4 weeks of the season.
Are you about to change something?
No, not at all. But the NFL is the one league where if you have a chip in the chair, you have a chance. The Giants got into the playoffs 7-9. They beat Tom Brady.
Bro.
Why?
Bro,
hold on.
not Daniel Jones, but it's like Daniel Jones.
No,
you know what I'm talking about?
no,
Eli Manning
did not.
had an elite
No.
playoff run.
Who had an elite playoff run?
In terms of
The
win.
Giants defense had an elite playoff run.
We ain't got that defense.
We had a strong.
We have a defense.
No, they had a strong running
We
game.
ain't got that defense.
No,
That's a
no.
legendary
No, no.
defense.
What I'm saying is not really. Michael Strahan. What I'm saying, there was a lot of good players on their defense, 100%. But
There's a lot of gold on
but
that.
what
a lot of gold.
Yes and no, right? They got hot at the right time. They're gold because they got hot at the right time. What I'm saying is the Chicago Bears are getting hot at the right time. I'm not saying that the Bears are going to the Super Bowl by any means.
Okay.
What I'm saying is that a chip in the chair means more than you would think. Trevor Lawrence had a chip in the chair. The Chargers were supposed to be a Super Bowl contender. They lost in the first round. You never know what's going to happen when you get into a one playoff game situation. In a series league, right? The NBA, right? The team sneaks in, the 8th seed sneaks in, right? Like Miami is the outlier.
Yeah.
That's happened once.
Well, it's any given
One
Sunday.
time in history, right? Am I mistaken on that?
You close. It's once or twice. Yeah,
I think only one time an 8
it's single digits. Yeah, it's
and
like
it
it's
was
less than
literally a
5.
team that was like, like Sweet Joe Green was on the team.
Yeah,
Back
that was
when
an old
nicknames
Wait.
were
I,
relevant.
I think you've been sipping a little bit too much Kool-Aid there, Pat. So you're saying that they could get hot.
No. What I'm saying
Oh,
is,
okay.
what I'm saying is, right, that Kid is saying this season's done in the aspect of
I see where you're going with
long
it.
term, right?
Oh no, he's wrong.
Well, what I'm saying is that, right, like long term, you can't get long term answers based on what's happening the rest of the season because the answers are already in there, basically, right? That's kind of what you were saying.
No, I'm saying that as far as us making the playoffs and making a run, that's done. I think this was all about evaluating.
Well, I
the
don't think
talent.
we
No, we're
ever
not-
making a
we're
Super
not
Bowl.
done
I think
until
the
we're-
talent is what we evaluate.
No.
I didn't say anything
100%.
about
We
us
still have
winning
remaining
out or
games
something like
left
that.
to play. Like, no, and if they lose tomorrow, I mean Sunday,
It's over.
then
Playoff run's over.
then that statement is
It's
accurate.
literally one
Is
loss.
that what you want?
What?
Yes, you want to see growth of your team.
I want to see the Chicago Bears because here's the thing. I want to see the Chicago Bears win 8 games, right? Because when you look at the bubble and when you look at the draft, What are the teams that are on the bubble in the draft right now? 5 and 8, 6 and 7, stuff like that, right? Your top 10 in the draft as well.
Chargers
5
top
and 8,
10.
6 and 7.
Chargers up a top 10.
Look,
pick
we
too.
still got they got
And
4
drafted
games to
Quentin
go.
Johnson last year.
They drafted Quentin Johnson last year.
Like
Yeah.
that's my right. Like the great graphic.
By,
right?
by the way,
4 games left. Super producer going crazy right now. He's
Yeah.
dominating. It's crazy. 4 games left, right? You look here. You get one more divisional win versus the Packers, hopefully, by the end of the year. You've literally gone 3-3 versus the division. You maybe sneak your way into the playoffs. I don't see the Packers winning. I see the Packers going 2-2 over their next 2 if the Bears can beat them, right? In the conversation of we're going to win out, the Packers go 2-2. If that is the case, Bears sneak into the playoffs, you make a name, you make a statement, blah, blah, blah. I think what that does there is you now go into the offseason investing in who your number 1 draft pick is, what you do with the first overall pick, what you do, because, right, that changes drastically if you lose this game and Justin Fields looks bad.
So we got Cardinals. After the Browns, we have the Cardinals.
Browns, Cardinals.
It's right down the right.
Falcons, Packers.
It's in order. I got it right this time.
I got it right.
I got it right this time. No mess ups.
Jesus. Okay.
Yeah.
And all I'm saying to that is, right, getting hot at the right time. You finish 9 and 8, you gain confidence. Justin Fields gains confidence. You never know. That doesn't mean I believe they're going to win the Super Bowl.
But they're going to run.
Is that I believe that. And here's
what does a playoff picture look like, though?
But here,
I got to make another graphic for that.
Bro. Let me tell you this right now.
Like I'm never gonna be the person that sits there like, oh no, this is done. Like
no, but
there's a chance.
If they lose, then it's out. But if they win, they have each week they have like
to win all 4
right
games?
now. They got a 7% chance of making it. Like it's not 0.
Here's the
Brandon wants to get in.
Go ahead. Come on, say something.
And to your point too, the Vikings are getting ready to play the Lions, the Packers, and the Vikings. So the last 3 games that they have to play are all divisional.
Yeah.
So if they lose all 3, I mean, that's a big if, but I mean, anything's possible because to your point earlier, what you're saying about Pat, about the Browns, they're on their 4th QB. How many QBs have the Vikings went through? Quite a few.
3. Kirk.
Well, Kirk
they brought Dobbs in. Who was after
they
Dobbs?
just benched him though.
Or no, who was after?
He just got benched.
4.
Yeah,
he just got benched.
Yeah. So we're looking, similar situation.
And sometimes and I think here's the thing, that is the NFL.
That is
the NFL, right?
So I stand corrected. I mean, there's a chance. I'm not gonna lie. There's a chance.
No, here's the thing. I'm still not on right. Like if we get in, we win the first round.
It's a
maybe
7%
I'm going Super Bowl. Right? We win one game in the playoffs. Maybe I'm thinking Super Bowl.
Well, I think the whole point.
Because here's the thing. Who's number 1? If the Bears sneak in, number 1 right now, San Francisco. We get the bye week. If we sneak in at 7, and we got to go down and face the Dallas Cowboys. You think I'm picking Dak Prescott to beat the Bears defense? Dak Prescott? I don't give a rat's. You know what year it is. Dak Prescott, MVP kid. I hope he wins it. Because you know what? That means the playoff letdown is going to be huge. Huge.
I mean, the whole
huge.
You know what? I'm sorry.
Dak Prescott?
I get it, but you all know I feel like Dak is playing the best football of his career.
Packers and Vikings right now is 6 and 7 right now. You sneak the 6. You sneak the 6. You got to play the Lions for the first round.
Oh, that's easy money right there. Easy money. Easy money.
Hey, I'm dreaming. I'm not saying it's happening, but I'm dreaming. I've gone too far.
I've gone too far.
Hey, we gotta.
Get this man another drink.
I laid out the scenario. We gotta win Sunday.
That was a gentleman's handshake, right? It was such a reach, but I respect it so much. That's a gentleman's handshake, right there.
Hey, what did Kobe say?
I like it.
What did Kobe say? Kobe said, "Wow,
that
was a Bika Miobi stretch."
Whatever that guy said.
So I guess we should move on to the next topic then, because we said, what if Flus doesn't win?
What's the flip side of this?
Well, the flip side is,
Agent Chaos came up with that topic.
Huh?
Agent Chaos came up with that. Oh, really?
Yeah.
You just sent it, and I was
gave
like,
it
"Good
to us.
topic."
We went with it. That was a good
Oh,
topic.
y'all was having a you see these sidebar conversations. You don't include me. I feel like the odd man out. I am the
No,
ugly
this wasn't
cousin.
sidebar. He was
No,
on the Chicago
no,
Bears
no,
podcast today. We
no.
only did a whole
You
show.
brought it up. We used
He
it.
did a whole show.
I know. I'm sorry.
You brought it up. I mean, he sent in a pic that you would have sent the flute. So take that as solace.
I'm just joking. I don't care.
So we- no, I came up with this topic. Contrary to popular belief, I'm the Barry Gordy. It's a great line. I saw that. Could Matt Eberflus get the Staley treatment if we lose to the Browns, which is hilarious because the Bears mascot is named what?
Staley.
Thank you.
You all practice this?
No.
We're
Hey,
we're professionals
listen,
here.
hey, listen.
We're professionals.
Which tells me he's not going anywhere.
Not going anywhere.
he was on point with that. No, could Matt Eberflus get the Staley treatment? I think that's a conversation. I don't think it's a conversation for in season. But the basis of, because we've already heard they're not going to fire anybody in season. But the basis of the conversation is, could he be fired for this game, even with how well he's coached his defense?
Yes.
Again, I mean, the thing
this
is,
could be the cat. All right, so here's my scenario.
again, the defense is looking better.
Defense, 12th ranked defense in total defense, 22nd in passing defense, second in rushing defense, which is elite, 23rd in total points. The red zone is a big problem for this Bears.
Once
team
we
as well.
get that pass rush,
I take that back. Not the Browns game, but definitely the Packers game.
what?
If we get blown out,
both Packers,
hey, we lose against the Browns.
Here's the
We
thing.
get carved up by Joe
If we keep
Flacco,
lo- if we're losing,
and
by
we
the
lose
better
against the
team-
Packers again.
Yeah.
and it's like our defense
Well,
gets
that's two losses.
cooked.
That's
That's two losses.
That's
True.
a different statement. I think that if I'll go as far as to say if you lose against the Browns right now, this is the last game as far as GM wise, people who aren't a part of the organization that we care about. Now, McCaskey wise, we know what games they care about.
Packers.
You have to beat the Packers.
You got to beat the Packers.
No matter what, you
Gotta
have to beat the Packers. I don't care how you do it. I don't care how you find a way to do it. You have to beat the. If Flus loses,
You could lose every
he
game.
could lose
but
the
you
next
better beat
3
the
games.
Packers.
If he beats the Packers and we
better beat the
finish with
Packers.
6 wins, he's probably staying.
I would say convincing Packers win though. Like I don't want that. Just get out of there.
You don't want that.
I
What do the McCaskies
want a statement team. I want us to be a dominant. Like you have a chance every time to play. That's what I want. I want the Chiefs kind of allure. I want a Patriots type of allure. I want knowing that I'm a favorite going into these games. I'm tired of like maybe they win if they get fortunate. You know, I'm tired of that.
Can I throw a
I think
curveball
that's
in
this
this?
season. Like that's this season. We're not supposed to be here right now.
No, we're supposed to be better.
We're not supposed to be in the hunt picture.
We're either supposed to be really deep, actually,
We're
like
supposed to be
a
really good or
contender,
really, really bad.
Right.
Like-
and we're in the hunt. Now, granted, what do we ask for? Right? We need to be in the hunt graphic.
Jesus.
No, I'm sorry.
And
Jesus,
what I
don't
and,
start.
and what
Don't
I said
start.
no, what I said is this, right?
We're
Think
exactly
about this.
where we are.
Here's the tough part. If the Bears win out or they lose one game, which I kind of see the lose one game as
thing,
the
yeah.
option that might happen.
Give me that draft.
They're
Watch.
8-5 over the last.
Mm.
Oh, the 8-5 to finish the season since first 4. That's improvement. That's a good team. It's a good football team.
It's a good football
8-5 is a good football team. Can you carry that into the next season? Remember, the Lions didn't make the playoffs last year.
Yeah.
9-8 didn't get them into the playoffs.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, you're right.
So if what we said was be the Lions.
Oh, Jesus. We beat them.
Now we should have said more.
Yeah, we should have.
We said be the Lions. We should have said more, right? Like I said we did the when you get 3 wishes for a genie and you say give me all the riches of the world, and then the genie give you like unlimited water and be like, what I'm gonna do with this? Be like, come on now, sell it.
Anyway,
Yeah, I mean, like, you got water, bro.
You got
Like
water.
that's the riches of the world, right? Like that's kind of what we got.
Interesting. Can I throw a curveball in this?
Uh-oh.
Might as well.
Agent Chaos.
That's what he said,
baby.
The one thing I would say is I went Eberflus, but I really would say Luke Getsy is on it. Like if you go against Luke Getsy with a depleted Browns defense,
Yeah.
and you look pedestrian and we look horrible, we're not moving the ball. I think ultimately he will be really on the hot seat because I see our defense doing well.
That's kind of, I think, where we're all heading towards.
Yeah, I see our defense performing well.
They're going to
I
get
give them that.
turnovers. Can they capitalize on this?
Now, what I will say is the difference here, right?
Because why are you playing afraid if their defense is depleted?
I think here's the thing, though. I talked about this with Matt Loeb of the Believe Network as well. He covers the Browns over there. Dog Pound Podcast, I believe. It's a crazy name. Crazy.
Crazy.
Shut up.
You still have Myles Garrett. You still have Zadarius Smith. That's your defensive line, right? That means your quarterback will probably be under duress. The people that are stepping in, you've got Alex Wright. Alex Wright's a third-round pick. You've got Isaiah McGuire, who could be the guy that's coming off the practice squad, probably for them. They're putting guys on the practice squad who was a fourth-round pick last year. Right? So that means that you scouted this guy. You looked at this guy. You said, I want that guy to be a major part of our team. And you had too much talent ahead of him. Of course, how his defense looked to where a fourth-round pick was on your practice squad. That makes a difference. You're not bringing slouches in. You're still bringing guys into the game that can make an impact.
You still got to test it out, though.
No. I think, but what I'm saying is
we've
right.
seen Luke go away from the challenge, and it's like,
Right.
Let us see if we can do it.
Play scared.
Like, don't play scared. Like,
Play
let's see
to
if we can
win.
do it. Now, if it's
here
not
we go.
working out,
Hello?
okay, abort mission. This is a good
to win
chance.
the
Like,
game.
but give me a series where I can say, hey, Justin can or cannot do it. Don't try to like give me this. We're just gonna throw. I'm throwing to you, Pat. Like that, I don't want to do that. Like, I mean,
I caught it. Ah!
Technically, if I throw it to
Yeah,
you,
I
that's a
caught it.
pass. Now
No
run 50
EQ,
yards.
St. Brown. No EQ, St. Brown.
So,
Well,
no,
you
I
know
don't wanna
what?
do that.
To me, I like I said before, I would really like to see us attack them kind of how we did the Lions at the Lions. That that offensive game plan looked great. It was exciting. It was like, yes, that's what I want to see. I would hope that we can kind of come out with some, some type of some pizzazz or aggressiveness on the offensive side of the game of the ball, and you're not playing not to lose. That's what
Every time you say that, I think of Matt Nagy.
I think of Lovey.
Every time
I
some
think-
pizzazz, I'm like, I don't know.
But I think
why.
of Lovey when I playing not to lose was the Lovey stuff. Like it was like offense was like mediocre, great defense, and we're gonna let the defense. And we have special teams. We have a Hall of Famer, soon to be Hall of Famer, and Devin Hester just tearing the whole league up in terms of return. So you kind of had those safety valves. But
100%. I'm with you on that, man. I look at this as the Bears have a great opportunity here. And Browns did finally put their injury report in. Myles Garrett was a full practice today, so he's going to be ready to go.
Oh,
he is banged up, but he's still Myles Garrett.
How many sacks does he have for the year?
15, if I'm not mistaken.
he's got 15
He has 15
sacks.
by himself.
Myles Garrett?
Myles Garrett does?
Myles Garrett might be Defensive Player of the Year. Are y'all tweaking?
How many sacks he got?
He's got 13 sacks on the season.
Jesus. How many sacks we got as a team?
Do I even have a sound effect for that?
How many sacks we
And there you have it, homeboy.
Yeah,
Wow.
He's got 13 sacks. Myles Garrett's elite.
No,
I know he's elite. I know that.
But
But 13 sacks?
what's the question here? What are we?
How many sacks do we have as a team?
We're up there now.
yeah,
We're
That's a
comparable.
good question. Now, granted, right? Myles Garrett had 2 sacks versus the Steelers. He had none versus the Broncos. He did not play versus the Rams. He had no sacks versus the Jaguars, and the team has gotten more beaten up. But I continue to say this. We watched Aiden Hutchinson, right? What did Aiden Hutchinson do?
He got to the.
I'm going to start on the right tackle. All right, you were kind of tough.
I'm gonna
I'm
walk
to start
you
at the
down.
right guard. You were a lot easier. I'm going to start at the center. You don't exist. I'm going to start at the left guard. All right, Tevin Jenkins, good block, baby. I'm going to go to the left tackle. Braxton Jones. Oh, you can't guard me? Bet. I'm going here all day. He's on a J.J. Watt style of play type of player where he basically says, I'm going to pick who I'm going against. And I'm going to go against him all day, and he's going to die.
Yeah, Myles Garrett is.
But
Just
I
it
like
doesn't matter who you
Mike
are.
Nice's
Excuse
I like
me.
Mike Nice's chat. You're talking about, Montez got 10. We got a double-digit sack guy, fellas. You know
No,
what I'm saying?
and I think that is for that is a positive for him. And the one thing about Montez Sweat is, right, Gerard Christian, I believe, is going to be stepping in for the I want to say is right tackle or left tackle.
Barbecue
Gerard
chicken.
Christian's going to step in for the left tackle spot. Gerard Christian, guess who he used to play for? The Washington Commanders.
Ooh.
So guess who knows
Got a little
how that guy
insight.
might play?
Got a little insight. Was it?
That's what I like. So I wouldn't be surprised if you see.
get him back.
Carl, you better get him, Carl. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Montez Sweat go versus Gerard Christian overplaying against Hudson on the right side, because I know how Christian plays. I know Christian's tendencies. I know now, granted, right? Like, this is also assuming that he ever went against him in practice. I would assume there was some point that he did, but there was a lot of talent on that team, right? You got
Mhm,
Deron Payne,
mhm.
you've got Chase Young on the other side.
Mhm.
Like it depends, right? Without Yannick there, you're looking at possibly Montez Sweat doing a very similar thing to what Myles Garrett can do.
Mike Davis is like, "What up, Breeze? How many Pat pauses and Joel Glass slips did I miss?"
Hey,
Not that many. Did we have one pause?
Good job.
I think we
Good
got
job.
one
Good
pause.
job. Let's keep it going.
I had
Let's
a
keep it going.
pause. Did I
And I
have a
said-
pause?
Let's call it
and
a
I
pause
sipped
free
earlier.
Friday.
No mess ups today, Mike Davis. I've been very good.
A pause free
No,
Friday?
no, I didn't. I did update. I do have the roster
Brandon got a
updated.
pause already, I think.
Oh, he
I think
did.
he's been here like 10 minutes. He already got a pause.
Yeah, but you said Pat pauses. Though.
Yeah,
That's
a
different.
Pat pause. I don't think I've had a pause.
I did
in this
update the
week.
roster though, so that's fixed. So we're good. We're good to go. But anyway,
You do be tweaking on that. I'm not gonna lie
But
to you.
hey, man, it's a lot.
That's the
I love that that's the
perfectionist in
glass
you. That's
slip.
what it is. The perfectionist in him
The
is like, even if it's
perfectionist,
off,
baby.
he knows it's off. Sometimes we don't know it's off. He'd be like, okay, no, that's
Nah,
wrong.
we be seeing it. I be calling
No,
it
you
out
know why?
live
Because
on the show.
everybody's got critical eyes around here, so they all see it. Even
Yeah,
the chat.
we
all
calling
of
you
them.
out.
No, I'm just saying everybody.
That's
Mike,
all right.
I'm just saying. You know, I want to make sure
Get it together, baby.
we're trying to be professional.
We're trying to be professional.
Hold on,
We're trying to
we
get
got a
big
question from V Dog. He said, "Question for the Breeze panel as well as
Oh,
Flus
boy.
has coached these
always
past
V.
several weeks. You can't ignore all the dysfunction that took place early in the year, and I still believe he's out in the 4 weeks. You can't do that, V Dog, because
Mm-mm.
it's about evaluating the team and where they are right now.
Yep.
This team is not the same team that it was in the first
No.
4, 5, 6 weeks. Now this team is looking much different, and based off of them rebuilding a team from last year, and they went through a
And
lot of
the
adversity.
defense
They had a
and
whole
all that.
defensive coordinator quit,
Yeah.
or leave,
Quit.
or whatever the heck
Or
happened.
be dismissed.
They've had to redo this whole thing. Yeah, he can't quit.
He quit.
Yeah.
He walked
and
away.
they received
Health reasons.
and Montez Sweat came in a few weeks ago. So
Yeah.
he is definitely transforming his defense. You want to add something, Brent?
Yeah, I think what you say is exactly spot on, because you look at the fact that as you go from week to week, game to game, and they plan out everything, the thing that you need to look at through week 15, and I said it earlier in the podcast, and I'll say it now, is injuries. They stack up right now. The harder you play, and I learned this from talking to Mongo, Dan Hampton, all 85 Bears and stuff. The harder you play in practice, and you get like just dialed in through practices, the easier it is for you to play week in and week out. And it's all about the training and conditioning at this point. Week 15, you are totally ascending or descending depending on where you're at, depending on the key injuries that are on your team. Right now, we're very healthy, and we're looking really good. And against that offensive line, I'm telling you right now, number one, Justin Fields is going to give that freaking defensive line a lot of grief, man, a lot of grief. And the fact that their two key running backs are hampered with injuries, Ford and Hunt. Hunt's already had 7 touchdowns this year.
Yeah, and
the fact that he's got some injuries and stuff like that, and I'm very excited to see what's about to happen.
Yeah, this is going to be a good game.
Yeah,
I'm gonna tell you this, and rewatching the film of the Detroit game and stuff like that, Justin Fields was like goddamn Muhammad Ali out there, bro.
Yeah,
When I tell you, bro, I was sitting there. I
gotta
like,
give him credit for that.
Bro, it's like 6 people in the backfield right now. Who's the 6th dude? Who's he?
He's making things happen.
There was so many people in the backfield, and Justin just duck, flip, spin. What the heck? What the heck was that? Like, I do think that he can give this Browns defense some fits. I am excited about what we'll see, and I do think that to the point of what the future will be for Flus, what the future will be for will he get the Brandon Staley treatment? This is a big game for his future, because listen, the NFL is a week-to-week league, and if you lose this week, depending on how you lose this week,
how you lose. Thank you.
You could be getting the Brandon Staley treatment probably at the end of the year, not so much at the beginning of the year. But it's like we said on the Bears podcast today. This is a game to me that sets the tone for what the conversation about you is. Because the rest of the season, right? If the Bears lose versus the Browns, but they win the next 3 games, Muzz are gonna say, "What's the Cardinals? You're supposed to beat them."
Right.
Well, it's the Falcons. You're supposed to beat them. even though they're a playoff team right now.
know,
Well, it's the
Packers.
Packers. You're supposed to be.
even though we lost to them earlier in the season.
That's what's the
Yeah.
conversation.
And we
is
should
gonna be.
we should see what this team is made of. Like
Yeah.
this is everything's right here. This is going to tell you what type of team we have because they got to get this one done and they got to get 3 more games done.
Yeah.
So this is going to be a great game to see. Hopefully they don't mess it up, and hopefully we'll see where we are moving forward with this team. I guess we should pivot to our third topic.
Should we get into this Bulls? We spent a lot more time on this than we thought. There was a lot of stalling so that we could show kid that.
This is. I'm gonna be honest with you. This is like a weird season. We got a lot of coaches potentially being fired. Like you even have a Hall of Fame coach who's potentially going to be out. Like is this a historic season from that perspective? There's a lot of people on the chopping block.
They fired Hall of Fame coaches before.
Not 6 rings. Not
I
six
guess
rings.
he's got.
But it's time. I mean,
And
he's
then-
got the most.
You got Mike Tomlin on a hot seat. He's never had a losing season.
But Andy Reid, I mean, he left.
His defense is cooking.
He left Philly after he never had a
Andy
winning
Reid,
losing
but
season.
Andy Reid hadn't won those Super Bowls yet.
Andy Reid ain't got no chips, baby. Come on.
But he still had.
Hey, you fire Andy now, that's a big deal.
But he's been when he won. I don't think they had.
He's always won.
They pretty much. I don't think he's ever really had a losing season in Philly.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's always
maybe
won.
one season.
That's the Mike Tomlin conversation, though.
But
Mike Tomlin's
Tomlin
losing season or his winning seasons are very different.
I feel like he's actually probably been more mid. Like he took
Because his winning
advantage.
seasons have been like 8-8.
Yeah.
500, baby. I take it.
No.
Yeah, that's
500, baby.
No. Nobody
That's a
wants
winning
500.
season.
Hey,
I mean,
hey,
no.
it's not that he's had losing seasons. It's more so that he hasn't had a losing season because he's been 500. Where Andy Reid has been, 10 and 6.
Whatever you do, don't make me go under
11 and 7. Right? Yeah, I mean,
But you know what, too? It's more like I think like with Tomlin, like the more you start to see it a little bit more, like they took over Cowher's team, right? And that
that's
team,
the biggest indictment.
yeah, Bill Cowher, but
the team that he won the Super Bowl with is the team that Bill Cowher built.
Correct.
He hasn't won a Super Bowl since.
How many GMs got fired this season? 3. Chargers just fired theirs. The Raiders fired theirs.
see you, Lord Crimson.
So we got 3 coaches. We
Yeah.
have 3 coaches definitively, and then 2 GMs.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Panthers.
Panthers fired them.
yeah. Well, you
I
got.
mean, it's a lot of turnover going on this season.
bad
I mean,
teams, though.
bad teams. So I guess the real
A lot
thing
of bad
was
teams.
the real reason I'm even going down this rabbit hole with this is because it's like, I can see where he's coming from as far as Flus being on the hot seat. I don't think Flus is going anywhere, but I absolutely feel like your offensive coordinator, Mike.
That could happen. I do
Like-
think that could happen because it's easier to go to an offensive coordinator and say,
Because
you
even
should get that guy there.
even the Steelers
Right?
fired their
Lovey
OC.
survived how
you
many
know?
offensive coordinators? He had a new one every year.
because they had a great defense.
They had
Though.
a great defense.
Flus
Shout
is
out to
insane.
Mr. Inglewood. He said, so according to logic, reason of folks in the media, Chargers' new GM coach should be ready to move Justin Herbert because he's not their guy, right?
Stop it.
They believe in.
Stop it.
Listen,
No.
I
Stop
would not move Justin Herbert,
Are
but
you crazy?
I would say this.
He gotta
I
show
do
me something.
think that Justin Herbert is going to be the same guy for most of his career.
Well, he can sling the ball.
He can sling the ball.
He can sling it. So
100%.
you give him. I mean, they have. Well,
So could
he's got
Phillip
Eckler.
Rivers.
What are their deficiencies on
So
the
could
Chargers?
Phillip Rivers. None.
No, their offensive game plan was
Is
very
it?
predictable.
So you think it's more
it
coaching?
was very
It-
predictable.
Because they
it's always
have-
been- it's always
Well, they
been
had
coaching.
injured receivers, right? They had Mike
They always
Williams.
got injured receivers.
Keenan Allen was
Keenan
always,
Allen's always
in
hurt.
and out.
Always got injured receivers.
Austin
And they got
Eckler
a
was
guy
in and
from
Eckler's in and out.
no,
Yeah,
who's
yeah.
the other guy?
Came in
Didn't
late.
they get a guy from Texas, TCU?
Quentin Johnson.
Quentin
Quentin
Johnston.
Johnston.
Yeah, he can't catch.
Can't catch.
He
That-
caught one
that's
touchdown
hard.
last night.
That's hard when you can't catch.
Hey, listen, you know what that is?
I'm so glad
You
we
shouldn't have
passed up
drafted
on him then. Like, I wanted him too. I'm like, we talked about it.
Yeah, we
he
talked
he
about
had
Quentin
good tape.
Johnston.
He had
Yeah,
good
but
tape.
you know what?
Hey,
The
that's
whole
called you shouldn't draft him.
well, the whole point is
Now,
that
granted, he might.
scouting.
Yeah, and
Good
I
scouting.
think that's the thing, right? We sit there and we look at the coaches. We say that, listen, I don't care what nobody says, right?
There's a whole scout team on it.
Not even that. You have to be honest with this team. Like Justin Herbert turns the ball over at inopportune times, just like Derek Carr did.
Yeah, but when you're forcing your QB to throw as much as they were forcing him to throw, your turnover percentage is going to be relatively high.
There are times where
Like that's why,
there are times where he's throwing the football because you didn't score touchdowns in the first half. That's
How
on
many?
you.
Isn't he
That's
like
we
top
can-
5
we
in
can sit
attempts
there-
per season?
He can be top
passes?
5 and everything, and just like Phillip Rivers was. You know why Phillip Rivers lost?
Oh,
Because of an untimely
it's no
interception.
kill field. He don't like. He
Because
ain't
of an
never seen it throw
untimely
him.
interception at the end zone or an untimely interception in the play. Like, it's the same conversation. To me, he is like Phillip Rivers were like, I gift you fourth quarter interceptions.
Boom, there you go. Thank you, sir.
And let's keep this thing moving along, man. Appreciate y'all for tuning in, showing love. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page. All that good stuff, man. Chicago Bulls. We're going to hit this quickly and then go into our fourth topic, but it has to be talked about. Because
Kobe White out there cooking.
not even that.
I ain't gonna lie though.
Hey, the second he wanted
lie.
the second he was like, yeah, you got to go get D-Lo. Not a chance. I'm not even picking up the phone if D-Lo's on the other line. I just hear heavy breathing and somebody about to snitch.
The moment I said he's not a point guard, he drops 11 assists.
Hey, 11 assists. Bro, stop playing with him. And the Bulls are attempting to recoup big for Zach LaVine. We heard that they were all in on trying to get a Darius Garland deal for Zach LaVine, which I laughed at when I saw.
I was like, why would you want to do that?
And then he immediately broke his jaw.
So he's mysteriously not available.
Again, the you dig for the injuries, bro. What's going on
He's
here?
mysteriously not available around trade time. All right.
No, he really broke his jaw. You
Yeah,
see the
I see you beat
Yeah,
that.
I'm just joking. He really ran into who was that? Porzingis' shoulder.
Yo, yeah,
It's broken. No,
got
he's
clipped.
done. Yeah, he's listening to Through the Wire for the next 6 weeks.
Congratulations. You played yourself.
You played yourself. But I think that like Cleveland sports is in a very bad place right now. And the Bulls are trying to recoup big for a Zach LaVine trade. Will they be able to get it done? There's one name on the market that to me is hilarious. Ladies and gentlemen, Lauri Markkanen.
Oh boy.
Has been made available for trade.
Circle back.
Do the Bulls just put the team back together that they could have built?
Might as well go get Jimmy
Let
too.
me get Markkanen and Clarkson, baby.
It's a band back together.
By the way, Jordan Clarkson as a starter is trash.
Yeah, he's on my fantasy squad. He's killing
Man,
me.
he is.
Oh no.
terrible.
Oh no, for all those in the chat, and this is totally me going out the chat. We don't want to bring back the guy who averaged 18 and 10 his rookie season in a dysfunctional Bulls organization and was so-called trash. We don't want to bring him back. We don't want to bring back the guy who legitimately earned the nickname the finisher. We don't want to bring him back.
legitimately earned
Hey,
it.
listen, he was putting everybody on a poster last season. I ain't trying to hear that. I'm not trying to hear
got
that.
a nickname
Hey.
too.
Oh no, he didn't earn that nickname.
I'm just saying.
The Paul.
Just saying.
It's the Paul. He's the little brother. He's the Paul.
Yeah.
I would be offended by that nickname if I was him. Anyway,
Well, you know.
no, we
Turkish
don't want to bring back that guy. Not just another guy who's what 6'11", 245 pounds, can shoot, is a 3-level scorer. We don't want to bring back that guy because the Bulls fan base said he sucks. Not the guy who was an all-star last season. We don't want to bring back that guy.
Bro.
We don't.
We don't want to bring back
You
that.
don't wanna bring him back?
Breeze Nation doesn't want that guy. We don't want that guy. Ain't that right, Breeze Nation?
Here's
He
my
sucks.
thing. Here's my thing, right? And y'all,
He's a liability on defense, although he
Nah, he
averaged,
is that. He
he
is
averaged
that.
a block and a half last
Yeah,
season.
that's okay. When you're tall, you get to do that, right? Paul Gasol wasn't a great defender.
Hey, so what do we all need on this team? We need to buy somebody who can shoot. Unfortunately, we don't have too many big guys that can shoot outside of Vooch. Oh my God, Lauri Markkanen can do what?
He can shoot.
Shoot. We
He can
want somebody
shoot.
who'll be able to handle the ball and get a bucket on his own. We don't have that in a big guy outside of Vooch. Unfortunately, guess what? He can do what? Better than P. Will.
He can shoot.
And score a bucket on his own. We can run the play solely for Lauri Markkanen. It's going to get done. Look at this. I'm just saying, we don't want that guy. You're probably wondering where I'm going with this. The Bulls fan base said Lauri Markkanen was trash. Am I wrong? Did they not say he was trash
They
in all
did
the
say he
games we
was
called?
trash.
They said
Yeah.
he wasn't that guy. So we don't want that guy, do we, Breeze Nation? I would love to have a guy who averaged 25 and what?
What did he average last year?
What is he
Larry
averaging
was,
now? I'm just curious.
He's
23.
balling out because I got him on my
He's
fantasy
averaging to you.
squad.
Shut up.
Larry is 23.7,
I'm rising up. I was-
8.6,
So he's almost a double-double. How
Yeah,
is he
that-
shooting from three?
39%.
Oh, he's almost 40% from he shoots better from three than Zach.
Yeah, boy.
Zach, I think it's 38%.
I don't. Listen, I don't know what you want from me.
Yeah, no.
Here's what I will say, right?
Brian
How
would
much
say
did they
he
pay
would
him?
come back and
No,
suck
here-
again.
and that was the point, right? Lauri Markkanen does not come to this team and become the number one. And so because of that, what does he put up?
He's a number.
He's number 2.
He's probably number 3.
Yeah, you got DeMar.
You probably. I mean, you're bringing Larry Markkinen back to a team. Well, maybe you move on from DeMar, right? But I mean, you're
Because we
you're
haven't
talking about
re-signed him.
maybe he's ahead of Vooch. Maybe he's ahead of Vooch.
So you're saying that
Yeah,
you couldn't
for
have
sure.
a power forward that might be a third option that might because you might want to stick defense and rebound,
But I think here's
like Andre Drummond.
Here's the thing, right? And you also have to talk about, right, keeping a guy long term, different things like that. Do you keep Larry Markkinen long term as your third option versus as your first option? And again, as your first option, when you give him the amount of shots he wants, sure, I like Larry. When you go out there and you tell him you take as many shots as you want, you play your game, you ball out, I like Larry. He's not going to do that here. And I think that's the part that people lose sight of, right? I say this all the time. Bulls fans would have hated Chris Bosh. Chris Bosh played a role. Now, it was a 17-point per game.
What
role.
version, Chris Bosh? You talking about
Any
Miami?
version of Chris Bosh in Miami.
Okay.
Most fans would have
Miami.
hated Chris Bosh.
Toronto, Chris Bosh would have left.
Yeah, but Chris Bosh wouldn't have been the number 1 here in Toronto, right? Like
That's
you had Derrick Rose, you would have
He would have been
possibly
number
had
2.
LeBron. He would have been number 3.
No, he wouldn't. If he was
Who?
with Rose,
The team
he
that
would
we
have been
were,
number 2.
the team that we were trying to put together
Joe-
was Derrick Rose, Chris Bosh, Dwayne Wade, and LeBron James.
Oh, that's
He wouldn't even been an
that's just
option.
inconceivable.
He'd have just existed.
Inconceivable.
You want to know why that's so funny? If we were to get
Well,
him
Bosh
back,
actually wasn't supposed to be.
like
a part
if
of
we
that.
were to get Larry Markkinen back, you know why that's so funny? He's either the mix between Aaron Gordon and MPJ for this reinvention of the Denver Nuggets. It's possible to have 3 to 4 people on a team that average over 18 points. Denver is a good case of it. He would fit right in. Now, would he average 23? No, he's not the guy, but he could do it. Like we could make that happen. He could come back and average 18 points a game with just enough shots and be impactful on this team. As is. As
I'm
constructed.
cool. I'm cool on Larry. Let it go. Don't go back to the past. Don't sit there and try to rehash it. You got one guy developing, follow that. And you got one guy developing at an elite level. This is not All-Star level.
We're talking about Kobe White, right?
Kobe White. This
Yeah,
is an elite
that-
level. what
that's
he's
my
doing
guard,
since
though.
Zach LaVine sat down. Yeah, but I think here's the thing, right?
And I haven't re-signed DeMar.
Well, that's a whole different conversation, whether you re-sign him or not. But I think
And
here's
P.
the thing.
Will
The
is
one
still
thing
trash.
about DeMar was P. Will's not even a conversation here. The
We
pieces-
drafted him for
the
to be
piece-
the guy.
Wait, he's not.
Yeah, no,
You
I'm just
missed,
saying.
right? You missed. It's over with. You can't go back to that. You also re-signed Kobe White when everybody told you it made no sense to re-sign Kobe White. You did that. You end up moving on from Zach LaVine. Maybe you get some veteran pieces back in there. That's what they're trying to do here.
John Perry won his chat.
I just think, what did he say?
He-
So
He
all this hype over-
rechatted
he
it.
keep rechatting this. So all this hype
We
over
see you,
QBs
John.
the last 10 years, top 3 drafted QB fails over 70%. What makes this a good idea?
I agree with you. Keith Fields.
Yeah, sure. All right, cool.
I'm with you,
I
John.
don't know.
I'm with you, John.
What do you want me to say, dog?
But no, I look at the situation you're in now, and even like when y'all was talking about bringing back D'Lo yesterday, right? Like that's who you want to get back in the trade, not unless he's willing to come off the bench.
I just want to get something
Because
back.
the problem is when we've seen people starting to develop and we've seen people starting to make the strides, what do? We go get somebody who plays the same position they do. D'Lo and Kobe are the same dude.
Mhm.
They're the same dude.
DeMar and Zach was the same person.
DeMar and Zach was the same dude.
I don't care what nobody said.
Right? Like you took a 2 guard and said, play the 3. That's all you did. Yeah, I mean, like when you see people starting to take strides, don't move off of that. So for me, I'm all in on what Kobe White is building right now. Can he stay consistent is the biggest question.
They play 2 different positions and 2 different styles of ball.
Who?
Larry Markkinen doesn't do what Kobe White does.
No, but I'm also not trying to bring back Larry Markkinen because I know Larry Markkinen is he's not going to come here and be the number 2. Larry Markkinen is not even the number 3 on this team. So what am I trading for?
What do you mean he's not the number 3? Larry Markkinen, as is
Markkinen-
right now, he walks on his team. He's clear number 2.
Who's setting the role on the pick and roll for Kobe White? It's not Larry Markkinen. Larry Markkinen is the 3-point shot. Larry Markkinen is the pop. Larry Markkinen is when I drive, you're
So
the
that's
kick.
pick and pop or pick and draw.
But that's Vooch. That's not Larry. Larry Markkinen is the kick. Larry Markkinen is the man that's standing on that corner or on that corner. That's not the same Larry Markkinen.
Will Larry Markkinen be just as impactful as P. Will with more scoring?
Yeah.
I think he'd be more impactful than P. Will.
Definitely.
More impactful, right?
Well,
P. Will.
here's the thing. What I will say about P. Will, numbers aside, P. Will has been a really good defender since then. That's just not what I want for my number.
That's not what I want.
That's not what I want for the 4th overall pick, right? But guess what? It's not what I want for the 7th overall pick either. I want, right? Like I remember where Larry was. So for me, I look at the 4th overall pick and I say, you're giving me something defensively that maybe Larry's giving me offensively. The Bulls are one of the best defensive teams in the NBA right now.
Brandon wants to get in.
Fellas, you know what would kill me though is if we got rid of Pat Will a little bit too early, just like we
Wouldn't
did
kill
with
me.
Markin.
Wouldn't kill me at all.
Ooh, you got to
Because
explain
now-
that one, baby.
Now with Lowry, I'm like, I wouldn't mind having him. Will we feel this way about Pat? Because is he going to keep building and getting better and better, just like Lowry did?
You know,
what?
how many years did we have Laurie versus P. Will?
3. We had Larry Markin in his rookie season. He was 18 and 10.
4. We had Larry
4.
Markin in 4 years.
He was injured. He
Yeah.
missed half of one of those seasons.
I mean, he was injured every
He was-
season. He played
so-
68, 52, 51, and 50.
So here's the thing. I hear what you're saying, right? Here's the problem with P. Will for me, right? Just my opinion. P. Will got starter minutes, and they give me starter production.
P. was
P-
the 4th option.
He wasn't the
He was the
fourth.
4th option
They made a concerted effort to get him the ball
this year.
early on. No, last year too, to get him the ball. He still passed up on a considerable amount of shots. He was passive. So could he be something? Yeah, sure.
Is he less passive this season?
He's less passive this season. I have
He's
to
a
give
lot
him that.
less passive this season.
And he's still giving me a hot 9.
No, 100%.
You
I'm
know-
not off of it.
you know-
I'm not off of it. What I'm saying is
Laurie
like,
Marketing was never that passive. Laurie Marketing was,
Well,
I
Lauri
would say,
Markkanen came in-
disgruntled
Lauri
because of the
Markkanen-
system.
Larry Markin also came in was the number 1 option, and there was never a question.
That's true.
Zach LaVine was hurt. when Larry got drafted.
That's true.
Larry Markin
That's
came in and was
true.
like,
I give you
you
that.
getting 20 shots a game. Figure it out. That's how you average 18, right? So I don't know, man. I'm okay on. I'm good on Larry personally. If the Bulls are able to pull off,
I take the flyer. I take it.
yeah,
The reason why is because you're not getting anything else back.
you're never gonna get back for Zach LaVine what you could have got back.
Nope.
You won't, because the Knicks were willing to give you R.J. Barrett and a bunch of picks. You're never gonna get that back.
I like what Brian Williams said in the chat about Siakam, because that kind of dovetails in with what you were talking about with like a 4 potential. Like, what would that look like as far as like a trade goes? Like, could we even get that?
The part you can
The
get
Kings
it for Zach
got that
LaVine, but the
sold
part
up
you
to
got
me.
Take
to
a king's ransom
The-
when we fleece our
No,
team?
I'm saying the
No.
Sacramento Kings are in on
But the part
several
you-
people.
and I
Toronto.
think the part you got to figure out is right. Like, again, you trading for people. Do you keep people? You gotta satiate Pascal Siakam. Pascal Siakam getting more shots than Vooch right now. If you coming in brand new to my system, you're not. Pascal Siakam getting more shots than DeMar right now. If you brand new to my system, you're not.
He is.
You never been here.
He
You know what I
is.
mean? Like
He
you're still coming in, and to me, you're the 4th option. If we end up moving on from DeMar at the deadline, maybe you're 3rd. If we end up moving on from DeMar at the deadline, he probably moves up.
Until I hear he got a contract extension, I'm under the impression that he's not going to be in the Bulls.
That's what he was waiting for. He's waiting to see what this Bulls team is going to look like.
All right, thank you
They
for
were
your
very
service.
they were very far apart. You know what I mean?
Thank you for your services.
No, I'm fine with it.
That's it. I'm moving off.
Look, I'm fine with it, man. Hey, man, we appreciate y'all for tuning in to show love. Let us know how you guys feel in the comments below as well. Let's jump into the Friday folder, man. We got the Friday free for all.
Yeah.
I got some topics in here, boys, that I got to ask y'all about because I'm cracking up with some of these. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. As we jump into the Friday free for all, hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave that 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Have any of you guys been watching the Jonathan Majors case? hey, yo. I got one question.
Wild.
Can we draft Jonathan Majors? Because Jonathan Majors ran multiple New York City blocks. Multiple New York City blocks.
How did I know this was going to come up, dog?
To try and get away from what? The white woman. No, I'm just playing. I'm joking, guys. Half white. Ha ha ha. It's okay. But no, it's just.
Not touching that one.
It's so. Neither was Jonathan Majors. But it's just so funny to me, bro, because here's one. Shout out Tony Baker. The fact that he's running through different surveillance cameras is the funniest thing in the world to me. And that they've put this out in real court. I was just like, bro, is this the intro to a Jason Bourne movie? What are we watching right now? Jesus Christ, it's Jason Bourne. Like hey, shout out Tony Baker, man. I saw that. That had me crying, laughing. I thought that was a major story for the Friday free for all. Big question to you guys, sports wise, throwing it around the room. We saw a lot of kerfuffles in the NBA world this weekend.
That twice.
Giannis Antetokounmpo, very upset and terrifyingly so, runs into the back of the.
He's too big of a human being. I'm sorry,
bro. Nope. I was so scared.
Nope. I was sitting on the 100 level away from the court, and he looked tall for me from that distance. I can't imagine him running at me. No,
Giannis running full speed.
No,
full speed.
You
to
got
the
it,
back.
Dog.
Should Giannis have gotten the basketball?
Yes, he should have. He broke the
1
franchise.
point for the rookie. Versus, which apparently like they say they do this with every rookie. They give the rookie the ball whenever he scores his first points, blah, blah, blah.
No. He set a franchise record. It was his career high.
Uh-huh.
So there was 2 milestones right there. He gets that game ball. No questions asked. That rookie, first of all, I know it was his first made basket, but it wasn't his first NBA point. So no,
that was his first NBA point.
No, he had a free throw.
That was his first point. That was it. He only had a free throw.
That was his very first point. Hey, my G, I would be very upset if that. No.
I mean, I get the upsetness, right? But isn't there something where like listen, 64 point. I get it, but I watched that and I was like, Giannis is mad about this.
Yes.
Yes. Like my boy.
He didn't get the game 6.
You're gonna score.
He didn't get the game 6 finals ball.
You don't get that. The team probably has it. No. You don't get the Game 6 finals ball. Guess who's got the World Series ball? The Chicago Cubs. Guess who has the White Sox World Series ball? The Chicago White Sox. The Milwaukee Bucks probably have the Game 6 finals ball. The ball hasn't disappeared, or because it's the first Bucks championship since Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the Hall of Fame probably has it. You don't get the ball.
But you get the game ball for your career high.
For your career high.
Giannis may never score 64 points again.
Do we believe that?
Yes, I do.
I don't.
That's not his game.
I don't believe that.
He has Dame on his team now. Dame dropped 70.
He has Dame on his team and he dropped 60.
I know. I'm just saying.
He has Dame on his team and he dropped 60. I don't believe that.
How?
I don't believe that.
No. The reason I say this, Kevin Durant has never scored more than 60 points. Kevin Durant has never done
it. Kevin Durant can't just move human beings out of his way.
Kevin Durant can shoot from anywhere on the floor.
He can, but Kevin Durant can't say, hey, this ain't your luck. Here you go. Let me. Just real quick. Appreciate that, man. Yeah, that's a very different game, bro.
No,
it's a very different game.
It's
now, I'm not saying that Giannis shouldn't be allowed to get the ball. I think that the rookie gets it for his first points. Giannis goes to him and says, I'm about to win. Like you would for a number 4 jersey.
The way that they snuck off,
because it's the front the way that they snuck off is crazy.
The way that
the Pacers was being petty 100%.
They weren't at home. This was a franchise thing.
And you want to know how deep it goes with all the beef that happened with that too? Sign James Johnson the next day. Black belt, by the way, if you guys were wondering. Just in case. Should he have got the game ball?
Who, me? Yeah.
You didn't watch it.
You so don't care.
Should he have got the game ball? Joel don't watch it.
Yeah, he should have got a game ball.
He should have got the game ball?
Yeah, why not?
64 points?
Versus
the
by the way, franchise record on the same team that Kareem
had. Kareem.
Why wouldn't he?
They gave it to the rookie for his first points in the
NBA.
No. I love that you just like F this rookie. Hey, I did say I literally finished didn't win. Is he gonna be good though? Like if you're gonna be good, maybe, right? Like if it's John Morant first points, maybe, but I don't know. What do you think, Brandon?
I'm half in one, half in the other because I'm excited for that, but at the same point in time, I actually kind of like I'm with you about, kind of like respecting the the old school too. You know what I mean? It's tough.
It's a different one. I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't know if I'd have gave him the ball, but it is what it is. Final thing for me from the Friday free for all. Listen, I'll tell you this: Giannis come running at me, he getting the ball. That was crazy. I got nothing. That's why you hired James Johnson. Hey, bro, he's so big, bro. Somebody recorded it. There were 4 balls. That's crazy.
There you go.
Almost made it.
Got him.
Somebody recorded like him running down the tunnel. There's 4 people just like, Giannis, stop! Oh no!
And as he's going down, his head looks like it's almost hitting the top of the thing.
Bro, it's just, they just hanging on for dear life.
Nah.
It was crazy.
What is he like LeBron size, basically like
LeBron size.
280, all muscle?
Oh, he's 7. Isn't he 6'11", 7 feet?
Giannis
245.
6'11",
245.
I knew he was taller, but as far as like weight goes,
weight wise,
No, I think he weighs less, but he's more muscle. Yeah.
Giannis is 6'11", 243.
Told you.
Really?
Told you.
Wow.
Weighs less than LeBron.
Him and Kevin Durant
LeBron is not
weigh the same.
Really?
Kevin
LeBron's
Durant,
more
as
like
skinny as he is 241
They
pounds.
just use they work out
It's
different
weird.
muscles. They work out different muscles.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah,
It
they
has
work
to
out
be.
different muscles.
Whatever that means, Pat.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
Giannis
Whatever that
is
means.
yoked,
I'm
man.
not
That's
going
crazy.
that way with you.
Let's finish it out with this, man. I thought this was the greatest thing. George McCaskey making some news. The owner of the Bears making some news for making everybody at the owners' meetings laugh. He talked about generational talents in the NFL. He said, we have generational talents coming in. Fans want to see Pat Mahomes. They want to see Josh Allen. They want to see Jalen Hurts. They want to see Tommy DeVito. According to CBS, the room burst into laughter. Y'all know I love a good DeVito.
Hey, Paisan. I know.
Hey, shout out Tommy DeVito. We throwing Tommy DeVito's name in there. And the only reason I'm giving a little bit of a caveat there where, yes, we might be throwing Tommy DeVito's name in there is because he plays for the New York Giants.
Well, I think it's
Eli
more about,
Manning was nothing to write home about.
It's all about excitement. I think it's more about selling tickets, and it's a fan base. If you it's hard. They're trying to expand the NFL to other countries, and they're not. I mean, it's not taking off like it is here. But, they're just trying to drum this up. But most of the people don't know those folks out there. But you're talking about, you're trying to draw up and sell tickets, especially and create some type of excitement, especially in your own cities. So I think that's what he was really talking about.
Just don't mention any of the generational talents on your own team, though.
So
that's what I thought.
There was no Justin Fields in there.
There was no Justin Fields on there, who was
Justin
first QB to get 5,000 passing and fastest to 5,000 and 2,000 rushing.
Second fast.
yeah,
I'm just saying.
my Friday free for all was I'm watching The Amazing Race now. Like my wife.
This is where you going?
Well, two guys, two brothers from Chicago went to
I was
Whitney
gonna say
Young.
brothers or brothers?
Two brothers.
Oh, two
Won
brothers.
The Amazing Race. They went to
Hey,
what's
shout
the
out
Dolphins? What's the Dolphins in? God dang it, my wife's gonna kill me.
Miami.
What's Whitney Young? They both went to
Whitney Young.
two brothers from Whitney Young won The Amazing Race this week, which was pretty
That's
cool.
what's up.
Yeah, thought that was pretty cool.
Was their training basically just running through the streets of Chicago?
Well, they were smart. They were like engineers or scientists or something like that. But they were smart guys.
That joke didn't hit there.
Yeah, but they're going all
They
around the
running
world.
through Inglewood at 9 o'clock.
They would have created.
They're trained.
That's how they train. You just run through Chicago at night.
That was pretty cool, though. That's what I got.
I had no free for all. My biggest thing was the fact that the Chargers are finally firing everybody.
Oh my God, that
Yeah.
was
Like
Brandon
the
Staley
whole
getting out of there.
ordeal was like 11 months too late, but still, like I would have fired him right after the Jacksonville game. He would not have made it back after being up for losing 4. We had 4 picks. I said,
Listen,
he had 4 picks. He was up 20 points.
Yeah.
Oh, you wouldn't have made it back after that game.
Luce wouldn't have made it back after the first Detroit game for me. So
In the letter that the ownership wrote, they said that they pretty much pointed and said this is not the direction that we're going in. Basically, like we have to go in a different direction. This is not the vision we had. And they're very pointed in saying that. I
Brandon
was like,
Staley's not good, bro. His defense is elite. Khalil Mack has 15 sacks this year. Khalil Mack has 15 sacks. Now, granted,
Yeah.
8 of them came in one game.
we
was gonna say
we
one of
sold
them-
high. That's all.
8 of them came in one game.
That's it. We sold high, baby.
Oh, I'm okay. They took that money.
Hey,
They took that money, baby. Taking that money is crazy. Hey, man, you got one?
My Friday free for all. I wish I would have went in front of you, but because you kind of dabbled into what I was about to talk about. The AFC West, man. At the beginning of the season, I thought this was going to be a legit. I mean, I'm like, this is where all the firepower is at. Now the Kansas City Chiefs, they're in shambles. The Raiders, I thought, with Carr over there,
63 points.
he's getting his boy, And I'm like, okay, yeah. And then the Chargers, we talked about all their firepower earlier.
Yeah.
Now look where we're at. Like, I don't know what's going
Hey,
on
it's a
over there,
very
boys.
mid division to his
Very
point.
mid.
I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. 5-9, 6-8, 7-6, 8-5. The
It's
Chiefs are the
crazy.
class of the division at 8-5. Matt Nagy breaking another quarterback. I told y'all.
No.
That's what was coming.
No. Matt Nagy inherited another Javon Williams. He has so many people on that
Nah,
team.
it's too many. It's too many 4th and 25 throws in like the first half.
Dog,
For me
you
to
only
say
go
that.
for it for 4 for 25 because you have Patrick Mahomes. But Tony has dropped so many passes.
Kadarius Toney dropped a lot of passes.
Doesn't he lead the league in passes, drop
Yes, he
passes
does.
over 30?
Yeah, he's
Yes, he
bad.
Yeah, he's bad.
Like how many games will they win if he catches?
He
those
lost
passes?
2 games for them by himself.
So they be 10-3.
10-3.
He lost definitely 2
Stop
games.
playing. Hey, Matt Nagy just I can't blame Nags on that.
Yeah, but you know where
I just don't like Matt
You
Nagy.
know where I look at coaching at? The fact that
Offensive offside.
yeah, that's why I don't like.
They don't ever call that. They never call it.
You have to call it that. Is.
I mean, Miami.
I don't care what situation.
So many
you're in.
clips have come out since that game of people lining up in that exact same same way. It happens all the time.
That's
You
a
never
lot
call
That's a lot over the ball. That was a lot over the ball. Now,
No.
do they call it often?
No.
Boy,
It was called 9
that
times
was
last
such
season.
an egregious offsides. There's no way to not call it.
Or it was called 11 times.
That was so egregious. His whole half of
Hey, I'm not gonna lie. He was covering the
Bro.
whole football for that
Bro,
side,
the
but I gotta go
whole
with Patrick
football.
Mahomes here.
That man got a size 12 foot. Come on, dog. That was crazy.
I
bro.
gotta
Hey,
stick
man,
up for Patrick
We
Mahomes.
appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave that 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. It's the only channel talk Chicago sports. How Chicago talk for the pettiest man alive, Mr. B Kid. And of course, super producer Joel Holt joining us. Special guest Brandon Hyatt from the Chicago Sports Podcast. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. One love, Bird Don, see red, all that good stuff, and keep winning. I don't know. Peace.